Several NFL officials telling Sports Illustrated it will hurt him on draft day because a gay player wouldn't be welcome in an NFL locker room. It would be uncomfortable because that's a man's world. You beat a woman and drag her down a flight of stairs, pulling her hair out by the roots, you're the fourth guy taken in the NFL draft. You kill people while driving drunk, that guy's welcome. Players caught in hotel rooms with illegal drugs and prostitutes, we know they're welcome. Players accused of rape and pay the woman to go away. You lie to police trying to cover up a murder, we're comfortable with that. You love another man, well, now you've gone too far. It wasn't that long ago when we were being told that black players couldn't play in our games because it would be uncomfortable. And even when they finally could, it took several more years before a black man played quarterback because we weren't comfortable with that either. So many of the same people who used to make that argument, and the many who still do, are the same people who say government should stay out of our lives, but then want government in our bedrooms.
Many of the people developing games for touch devices don't seem to recognize that it actually is a new input device. There are some amazing, groundbreaking, genre-pushing things we can do with a touchscreen, things we couldn't possibly do with a controller or a mouse and a keyboard. But at the same time, there are some things which a mouse and keyboard simply do better. Not every genre has to be replicated on every device. It's essentially the same problem we have with motion controls. People seem to be expecting and trying to build the first great FPS or action-adventure on these platforms, when that's not the strength of this input device at all. It's the same reason we don't see a lot of stellar RTSs on consoles. The input just isn't built for it. And that's okay. We don't need the same experiences we get on our consoles or our computer screens ported to a touch device. We need games that are great in their own right. So what does work best for touch devices? Well, first, anything turn-based translates remarkably well. Turn-based RPGs, strategy games, puzzle games, board games, card games. Also, touch games tend to work best when they only require one input at a time, which rules out stuff like combos and jump attacks and even simultaneous moving and shooting. And lastly, controls for touch games are often at their best when they mimic human motions we already understand. Flicking, pulling, sliding, etc.
I go by Jay. CC's my bestie. My job is dumb. Sell pills to fatties. I hate this shit. I am not happy. So I write rhymes. Word to your daddy. No, I need to quit and my job got worse. Just got a new boss. I will put him in a hearse. Working on my anger though, one day at a time. I hope they all die, but I won't commit the crime. Ooh, it smells fishy. Nina, where you at? Bitches be tripping. Bitches get slapped. Crushing on this dude. She kissed him out of sight, but I met this other dude. He's white dynamite. Then shit got real. I kinda like them both. Would've let him hit, but nah, I'm not hope. So I had to make a choice. One had to go. Pick my final answer and I did, bitch, whoa. Yes, I'm the shit. Yes, I'm so good. Little bit of awkward, lot of bit of hood. I intimidate hoes. I'm misunderstood, but the flow's so sick like Patty on her period. Yes, I'm the shit. Yes, I'm so good. Little bit of awkward, little bit of hood. I intimidate hoes. I'm misunderstood, but the flow's so sick like Patty on her period.
I really like this trailer, but it has to suck for Sofia Coppola that Spring Breakers came out first, because these movies are so similar. From the music to the credit style, it's like they are cut from the same cloth. It's like a box set. But where they differ, and which I think is going to be really fascinating, is that you have a male filmmaker versus a female filmmaker. And it's going to be really, to see this stuff filtered through there, basically the same kind of story about disenfranchised youth, looking to, to party and have a more exciting life, is in the, today's youth and stuff. Like the Adderall line at the beginning is great, and it looks like, you could almost intercut these movies in some ways, and it would, to some degree, I liked Spring Breakers a lot. I particularly like what James Franco did there. I thought the female characters, though, were very underdeveloped, had a Girls Gone Wild vibe to it, so I'm excited to see what a female filmmaker does with the same story, and also Emma Watson looks like she's doing a very good job. How great is it for Sofia Coppola to team up with her? Sofia Coppola, has a great history of finding, female actresses and giving them really great roles.
Huntress goes to protect the last remaining officer, Detective Reese.
I know a lot of strange things may happen here in New Gotham, but a guy made out of water? Come on, that's just ridiculous.
Wow, it's a good thing it was a fire extinguisher that shoots coldness and not a chemical extinguisher, or any other kind that actually exists in reality. She'd have been totally fucked if it was the kind that shoots water. They run and hide in the sauna, which works because hot. Never mind the fact that if the room itself were hot enough to boil water, they wouldn't just be sweating, they would be dead. Dinah and Alfred talk about finding her place in the world while washing some dollar store cups that the props department didn't even bother to remove the label from.